Hey guys, Lucid, welcome back. Jumping back into Black Swan, where we are playing Mekone, or Mekone, or Mekone. Just kidding. Diplomacy first. Message from Ulm. The free workers and artisans and artists of Ulm greet the gigantus of Mekone. You wished for information, and you shall receive. So, by the way, this is going to be the diplomacy update episode. After finally defeating Pangaea, the people of Ulm live in peace with all our neighbors, be the elves, birds, lizards, monkeys, or other humans. The elves are in a distant war with a crumbling empire of apes, or so they say. They mean Lanka. That's not really accurate. Everyone is worried about the growing reach of Zabalba, and there are rumblings of a coalition forming. Similarly, everybody is worried about Mekone. We have not decided yet. People are worried about me? Really? P.S. Der Utopisch Socialismus wishes to send you a personal message. Hi, Gigantus. Is that your real name, or are you just shy? Dude, we're a giant nation. Anyway, it's really chill and far out being here, and I wish everyone could just be friends. Hope you won't win, because that would totally be not cool. Have fun. And then we apologize and wish to be at peace with you. Okay, that's kind of random and funny. So what I get is he's been at war with Pangaea and has kind of won. So that's interesting. From Tirnanog, hey Lucid, it's come time to end our nap too. You should receive this on turn 45. The nap period is 55-56. Orders would go in on turn 46, and battles would resolve on turn 47. This is a great, by the way, guys, if you're trying to end your naps, perfect example of how to do it. That way it's very clear. Best of luck in the coming war. Okay. We have a message from... And we're going to talk about that, because obviously that's going to weigh heavily on us. Bearfather drag Bobo Baby and Oleg into a board meeting. If this goes on much longer, Bobo may send messengers with old story to pass time. And then I'm sending a message out to people saying, send me a note on your Diplo. Okay. Dire Portent, the Boring Company. That's actually a really funny name for his pretender. We can see Marverni starting to get some big globals up. They've got Stellar Focus and Earthblood Deepwell. So, the thing, like, you should not ever be... Look, guys, this is me being 100% honest. I have no idea how on earth, and I'd mentioned this at the end of last episode, how I would ever win a game. Like, how do I win a game as Mekone? I have shitty little human troops with bad morale, bad magic resistance. I have these guys who are good, but I can't really mass them, and they're expensive, and they have a lot of upkeep. And they also have kind of weak MR. Right, so like 17 MR after anti-magic, not that great, right? And I'm gonna have so few of them that anything that targets MR, which, you know, Lanka has death stuff, which can, everybody up here is gonna have death stuff which can target MR. These guys are gonna have astral stuff. I'm probably not even the biggest player right now. I might be up there, but I'm not the biggest. Like, fear of nations should have a lot to do with what the nation is. Some to do with the player, but honestly, like... So TNN has now declared war against me. Which, it's like, dude, I'm trying to take out Lanka that's got, like, hordes and hordes of undead. Like, Lanka is a very clear threat. I had asked him to get in on it, but I guess he didn't want to. So, normally my games don't really go too much of, like, kill the streamer, or, you know, kill the YouTuber. But here there appears to be, which is kind of weird, because normally I think this is the weakest nation I think I've played. And normally people don't jump me. So I guess it's like I'm playing a weaker nation and people are like, let's jump him? I'm not totally sure. But we will play this nation as hard as we can. There's a battle in Lanka, so this is Peter Wass, I think, jumping in. Here he goes. Just a little bit of PD here. And I think I was hoping we would one-turn pop it. I don't think we do if we look at Lanka. No, we have. We have one-turn popped it. Attacking here, that should be easy. Here. Yeah, it's just no contest. This rating into PD. I think there's another Sarm. He keeps sending Sarm. I wonder if these guys are twice born or what's going on here. Oh yeah, they are twice born. So he's just controlling upkeep here. So here his Pretender is moving in, and I think this is only Mekone PD. And we're probably going to get murdered here pretty good. If we kill anything, I would be super impressed. No, our guys have all routed. Okay. Yeah. Proud sponsors of the French Running Club. Get your t-shirts today. What's our fatigue like? I think we're probably okay. Yeah, 52, that's okay. We get hit there? We get a little pop on the head. Okay. And we have raided there. So, gold deposit, nice. What's this? Up here. It's actually kind of sweet. So let's take a look at the evolving landscape. We have kind of kicked Lanka all the way back here, and he's got very little of what he had before left. Yeah, we're actually getting kind of close. This looks a lot like the game state of the game I'm in. Like, close to present turn. So I'm getting like weird deja vu. Okay, we're going to continue an attack over here. Now, Lanka's pretty big. Like, they had a lot of stuff. So I'm kind of surprised we're doing so well. Now, we're going to try to storm the castle. I don't know what they have in here, but I just have mercs. I probably, if I were min-maxing, I would wait one more turn to storm. That way I get another turn of sitting on their fort. This is a decent chance they'll die, but whatever. We're sitting on top of this. We're actually going to storm this castle. And we're going to have some more people move here on top of Lanka. Now, what we have, and I've actually tested this a fair amount. I've got... I think I have somebody else cloud trapezing. Yeah, Brecken Sky, who is going to be cloud trapezing here on top of Lanka. And he's positioned here at the back. And basically, I have these guys on hold and attack large monster, and they do pretty high amounts of piercing magic damage, which is pretty good at killing like high protection units that, you know, may have body ethereal or something else on them. So these guys are actually going to do okay against this Pretender God, and then we have these guys on attack large monster. They're basically going to buff up an attack large monster. And I'm assuming, because in my tests what I've tested is that he's going to be on hold and attack rear. So anyway, I hope that works. We're summoning a bunch of fire elementals. And yeah, that's basically it. We're doing mass protection, which is a little, yeah, with fire elementals, you have to be careful. Like if they get clustered in our troops, we could be fucked, but what are we gonna do? Anyway, that's the plan. We're also spamming out lightning resistance because we've got that, which means it's a good time to talk about research. We're running up to Alt 8 because I want to get ground army because I've got a bunch of air neighbors. I've got air neighbors down here. These guys are air. These guys aren't really air, but with TNN declaring war on me too, it means going for Alt 8 is definitely a good idea because they have a lot of air magic they can do. So anyway, the army that is here, so most of the shit troops, which would just run from his god, because I'm assuming his god's going to come for his capital, because I've cracked it, they're going to move down here and we can potentially threaten this fort. But yeah, so that's the play. Storm this fort, move over here with a kind of squad of elite guys designed primarily to kill his god. And then storm this fort. I probably should have waited one turn on that. But then we've got more reinforcements that are coming in. The problem that I now have is I don't think I can take Calum terribly easily. Yeah. We're going to try to storm it here because I've got it cracked. We'll send a super combatant in, so the air elementals won't work. The undead won't work. Hopefully this works. Hopefully we can kill it. The only problem is we could lose the morale check and then run. And I think, though I'm not sure if I'm doing it right now, very shortly we should have some flesh eaters coming in, which are going to help with super combatant morale problems. And once I have Lanka, if I get Lanka, I'm going to have a... Oh wait, do I not get Bloodslave income? Shit. I need... In the late game, I'm gonna need blood. And I can get it with the cares, which are a conjuration thing. But I have to empower them. Or not empower them, like gift of reason them. So it's pretty expensive. Eesh. But it's probably the fastest way to get my blood economy off the ground. You know, I could potentially have some of these guys blood hunt and stuff later. But, I mean, it's just going to be really grasping for straws, and I wouldn't do it on my cap. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we're going to try to storm this. If I can't take it this turn, then we're going to have to basically concede that we're not going to take Kalem before we have a war with TNN. And at this point, I'll just go through the Diplo discussion that I had with TNN. So, basically, I'm like, are you sure you really want to do this and go to war? And he's like, yeah, I think I have a favorable matchup. And I'm like, look, man, like, you're playing, first of all, a better nation than me. So your expiration date isn't quite as quick as mine, but we're playing in a game versus like Lanka, who like is probably one of the scariest late game nations, versus Marverni, who's one of the scariest late game nations with just massive communions and hordes, like unlimited amounts of size 4 tramplers if they have larger on their bliss. And then there's a Zabalba somewhere out here who's huge. I forget where Zabalba is. I think Zabalba's down here. I think this is Zabalba. Who's apparently huge, and they're a huge blood nation. And then I think there's another blood nation somewhere else. But like, we're kind of weaker human nations, he and I. And we need to use this time to get way bigger than the blood nation so that we have a chance against them later. And he said, yeah, I kind of agree, I just think it's a good matchup. I'm like, all right, can't argue with that, if you think that. So what I told him was like, look, you do your thing, you come at me, and once I prove to you that it's not a good matchup, and you've spent a lot of your resources, then we'll go back to being, to having peace. And he said, fine, we'll do that. Because he didn't even, at least what he was saying, he wasn't committed to killing me, like to wiping me off. He just thinks he can fight me and take a bunch of this stuff, like cordon this part off for his empire before he turns on someone else. Which, I understand, like, why he would think that, because I've had so much freaking trouble taking these forts. Anyway. So yeah, I think that's basically it for this turn. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, which will be an interesting one. Turn 45. Let's go to turn 46. Message from Marverni. Hey, I saw the message for Diplo, but forgot to send you the message last turn. I figure I could give you a summary of what's happened in this area. Might end up giving you free intel, but I know you don't like scouts, and maybe your viewers will find it interesting. Also, I'm sure some of this will be redundant if others have sent you the same stuff independently, but I'll try to cover things, everything I know, so at least you'll be up to speed as far as what I know about. Nephil attacked Satis early. Both sides asked me to join, but I ended up staying neutral. I had considered joining one side, but ended up focusing elsewhere. I think Nephil was trying to hit giants with before the Sarumancers came online. I think he may have underestimated elite warriors. Anyway, Satis won. Had to build a lot of temples to push the cold out. Satis failed his first storming of Niflheim, and I expected it to take 2 turns to happen. Still a scary Nifl army with its own skelly spam. Early on, Pan and Ulm got mixed up with Satis too, but that ended up being its own separate thing. Zabalba actually conquered Pan, but Ulm delivered the killing blow. I do like getting these diplomacy messages from Mekone, who's the player playing Marverni. And he's got a YouTube channel too. I don't know if this will be going up on it, but anyway, he's a good player too. So he's actually, I think he's grown a lot too, like as a player. I think I was probably like better than him when he first started playing in my games, but I think now like he and I are definitely on at least an even footing, if not he's better. So we're probably on an even footing now. He's a good solid player. So I'm actually really scared about fighting his Marverni. Right to my east, Pel and Theodoros have been in an eternal existential war. That's actually true. At first, both Helheim and Agartha were helping Pelagia out, despite constantly losing his SC pretender. Theodoros held out. Agartha ended up being eaten by Yomi pretty early. And while that was happening... Oh yeah, there's also a big Yomi in this game. I keep forgetting to mention that. Agartha was holding out... hollowing out Machaka, which ended up just helping Sarumancer conquer Machaka faster. I don't think Machaka's conquered. I probably should ask them about that, because I'm like thinking about my 8 turns in the future in the real time in the game. Anyways, back to underwater. Agartha is pressured out of the picture, and Helheim is occupied elsewhere. I think Theodoros feels he is stabilized to get the upper hand. No, this actually isn't true. Theodoros is slowly losing this war. Regarding Helheim, I was thinking about attacking them. This was when I was also considering joining a side in Nifl vs. Satis, but was also hesitant to go after elves alone. Surprisingly, Vanheim attacked Helheim, and so of course I had to take advantage of the situation. Both sides lobbied me, of course, to join their team, but I had already signed a nap with Van, and Helheim's lands made more sense geographically for me. Van ended up losing a major battle fairly soon, losing his sacred stack of 100 plus, killing maybe half of Helheim's sacred stack, maybe 20 out of 50 something cav. While fighting both Van and me on the same border, but also being distracted with Theodoros to the northeast. Helheim really couldn't do any significant elf raiding versus me, and I defended successfully versus a couple elf raids that he did try to pull off with well-placed defenders and PD. And, okay, then the final message from him. I'm sure you've seen my bless by now, but if I hadn't taken major shock resistance knowing I'd neighbored both elves, turned out to be quite useful, as Helheim was using tons of corpse constructs as chaff plus area vocations. After securing border and defending against counter raiders, I forced his hand by marching on his cap and won a decisive battle. Of course, being elves, it's not quite finished. I'm still not quite finished cleaning everything out. I had noticed several turns that Vanheim didn't seem to be fighting Helheim actively anymore and lost the territory he gained from raiding to Helheim counter-raiders. I suspected that he had attacked from the south, and sure enough, my fears were he was attacked from the south, and sure enough, my fears were confirmed when the border with Van suddenly became a border with Zabalba. I think Zabalba conquered all of Van in like 3 turns. Aussies with +2 attack, +6 strength, and blood surge, if I recall. That's a pretty scary Aussie bless. I was able to snatch one of Van's border forts before Zabalba got everything, but bumped Zabalba in the process, and it got pretty bloody on both sides. I think that about covers it. I suspect Zabalba's neighbors want to gang up on him before the Aussies are out of control. He's already trying some preemptive diplomacy, but that's tough to sell when you have murderous Aussies. Cheers, Mekone. I hope I sent him a thank you message for that. Oh, I didn't. Sometimes I'm kind of rude. I should have sent... Maybe I sent him in real game time. I don't know. That was a really informative message. So not much in terms of content there from Bruce. We finished Alt 8, which is nice. We cast Dark Knowledge. And I think this was on this throne where I actually knew there was a death site. We're making revenants here, because I only have one. I got a random death, and I think I empowered him. because I had a trickle of death income. But anyway, we've cast Create Revenant, and that's going to give me more people to finish death site searching, and that will give me death access in the late game. Though, of course, not a tremendous amount of it, but at least, you know, I'll have some. Now we have the slog of all the battles. Let's see what we got. So, Lanka just sticking their head out with the shaman. Okay, this is not going to go well. We do have Phoenix Pyre, so it'll be slightly interesting. Yeah, very typical Phoenix Pyre business. So, this did not go terribly well for us. But what you're going to do, wherever his Pretender God is, I'm basically going to lose that province. It's just cost of doing business here. I could potentially pin his Pretender down if I catch him outside of a fort. And I have 2 of my Cloud Trapezing Cyclopses in range. And I have Flesh Eaters on them to deal with the fear. But they really run like little bitches when, Okay, this is risky of him. He's got just a few guys raiding here. Here's it's working. We kill one Storm Demon, and he kills this guy, who I guess maybe had some gear on him, I'm not sure. And, yeah, Lanka raids here, loses some undead, but that's good. He's making a little comeback. We have a battle inside this fort, so this is the fort we sent all his mercs inside. And we've got Bloodlust, summoning a bunch of imps, Gift of Heavens, but he expended a lot of Blood Slaves and a lot of gems. Yeah, doing Swarm and all this stuff. I think he summoned Cloud. Did he summon Air Elementals too? I thought I heard it. Maybe not. Anyway, he wasted a ton of gems. He killed my mercs, but that's okay. Probably could have waited one more turn. Now, one of the mistakes I made was I had this guy on with people guarding him, and I don't think I meant to. I meant to send him in naked. And this guy's going in Lanka's cap. And it was kind of probing. Unfortunately, we're taking a fair amount of damage and we've routed, which is not really ideal. We've got some poison damage. We're maintaining, but he's got what, this guy here smacking me. He's got some other high damage guys like these guys, Sandibalas or whatever they're called. They hit really freaking hard. Yeah, you can see we took like 14 damage there. They are no joke. And we're paralyzed, which isn't great, and our HP is going down. So the damage coming in is exceeding our damage mitigation and regeneration. So, yeah, we've got pretty high protection, and we've got all the temper things, and we've got protective force, but just the storm demons and, well, not really the storm demons. Okay, there we go. These guys died. Okay, we've stabilized a little bit. If I recall, what ends up happening is somebody ends up casting Leeching Touch on us a couple times, and that kills us, because it's armor negating damage. And this could also be different RNG because it's a new patch. See our shield kind of going to work here. This is what I expected to happen. I think it didn't go this well. I think this is different RNG. Oh, we've routed though. We just run off. Maybe this is what really happened. Alright, Peter. You fought nobly. I give you that. You are running like a little bitch, but you fought well, my friend. This is a weird bug that is definitely a bug. These guys are frozen even though they're not fatigued out. It's like they're routed, but they can't run anywhere. Definitely a bug. Okay, and so then we escape. So let's see if that's actually what happened. No, yeah, I thought we actually died. I think what happened was somebody cast Leeching Touch on me and killed Peter. So that is it is a little sad, but you can see Peter did not go down without taking a few things with him. He killed 3 Raksharajas, 4 Dakinis, 1 of these guys, pretty much all the chaff inside, including 7 Storm Demon. Now I think he was empowered, and he had a lot of gear on him, so, but even so, I think it's still worth it. I mean, he just did a tremendous amount of damage. Would I do it again? Maybe not. I probably wouldn't. I would probably want a better trade than this, but we don't have the luxury of being Monday morning quarterbacks. And as you see, it could have kind of worked even better. Like, he could have lived. And if we could, like, if I got the battle outcome we just saw, I would have loved that. Like, killing a bunch of stuff and then having him run away, that would have been awesome. But as it stands, we killed a bunch of stuff and he didn't make it out. So yeah, and he spent a lot of gems and stuff. You know, it's, as much as I would love to just steamroll through these guys and not take any losses, I don't think have an easy way to do that. Okay, so that was the first battle on the fort, and then we have a battle on the Fortress of Kalem. And here I'm going to try to take, again, with a super command. We've got his god and a few Eagle Kings. So there's a Storm. We have air elementals, which just tickle us. And there appears, just from his god, he's able to generate enough free spawn that we're not able to kind of take it. And unfortunately, we're not getting in range of these Eagle Kings to kill them. Oh, we got in range of that one. Okay, he's dead. Okay, we got both of those. Marching forward fearlessly. Okay, and then I think we hit the turn timer and we ran. I don't think that was actually a morale check. I think that was the first of the turn timers. So he killed 200 things, and we didn't die. Okay, yeah, and we killed his Eagle King, so that's actually kind of important. And then finally, we have our last battle, which is the battle for this fort here in the High Woods, and I don't think there's nothing inside. Okay, and they're damn near running already. Yeah, there we go. Monkeys head for the hills. So, yeah. Here we go. 1,500 people left. A very deadly disease. We still have this fucking event. Who is doing this to me? I wonder if it's Theodoros. That'd be kind of not very nice. Yeah, I don't really have easy ways to deal with it. I have to catch them with patrollers, so if they move on top of forts, I'll catch them, but I don't really have easy way of doing it otherwise. Like, if... I don't know. The only way it really makes sense is if it's Kalem. So, anyway, where are we now? Well, so I only had a nap 2, which means attack orders can be issued this turn against TNN, and that means that we have to talk about anti-elf tactics. Fighting elves is very frustrating. It's very hard to do, and the problem is elves can usually kill an infinite amount of normal troops. And they can sneak away so you can't magic phase attack them easily. So what you kind of need to do is you need to have people positioned in every province. This guy didn't script for some reason, but, you know, in every province, and you need to script them with Phoenix Power, Fire Elemental, like that, okay? Or something like this. And you need to have somebody like that with some magic counter to elves in every province if you can. Like here, we're kind of doing it with some Earth Elementals will trample elves well enough anyway. And we've kind of got these set up almost everywhere. I've got people patrolling. Okay, these guys aren't going to do shit. But anyway, like, people are here. And it's not going to be a 100% success rate, but, you know, like 1 out of every 3 times it'll kill the elves. Or 1 out of every 2 times. And if I do that, and I always retake... This is the other rule when you're fighting a raiding war against elves. You have to always take, if you can, every single province they take from you that turn. You can't start losing the raiding war. So those are my objectives. Make it so that I'm putting mages out where they're going to use gems and potentially die, but also potentially, you know, these guys are going to summon an Earth Elemental, also potentially kill an elf or 2 before they go. And yeah, that's basically kind of what we're going to try to do. We're not going to try... I think I've got like 1 or 2 thugs I might have put out with items, but in general it's not items. It's going to be using gems to summon things that I think will kill elves. Over here, this is where our mercs kind of failed. This is the fort we just took, which, as it turns out, have lizard shamans, which is going to be extremely useful for me since I have very limited access to nature or to astral. I'm not going to go ahead... I need to build a temple to get it, but I'm not super confident how this war with Lanka is going to go enough to go ahead and invest in a temple. So we're going to hang tight. This army is going to move down here. We'll go ahead and throw this under siege. These guys here, we have a bigger army, and we've kind of already depleted most of his stuff in his cap. So we're going to go ahead and actually, with the whole army now, go and try to storm his fort or castle. And it may not work, because apparently I can never storm castles as Mekone. Not normally a problem I have in other games, but I'm definitely having... The struggle is very real for trying to take stuff with Mekone. Take infrastructure. Yeah. In terms of research, we're going up to enchantment 6. Why am I doing that? I think I wanted to have access to Eternal Pyre. Oh, it's also going to give me So Dragon Teeth, which is nice to have. These guys, basically it gives you a bunch of, like, what, 10 something skeletons that have magic weapons. It costs you an Earth Gem, but it's kind of nice. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I was doing this for. Yeah, I don't know. Earthblood Depot would be kind of nice too. My income's kind of shit. Probably like very middle of the road with income, gym income. But that's basically the plan, is to have these guys running around with Summon Earth Elementals. And I wanted to have them there this turn, so I deployed them last turn with some gems. Some of them, you can see I didn't necessarily script everybody, but if I moved them this turn, if he did a magic phase attack, they wouldn't be there, and then they would die without PD to support them. So it's basically, the idea is like a mage summoning something with PD support, and hopefully that kills them a significant portion of the time. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, there's going to be a pretty extensive TNN attack on me this turn. He's probably going to try to elf me. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take this army, and I have no idea. Like, for all I know, TNN has some enormous stack right here that's going to murder me. So we're going to get off of Calum's cap, and we're going to go ahead and siege on top of this fort. And then we're going to just ping... One of the things we're going to try to do, and this is a good thing to do against elves, is you want to ping them every single turn. Now, pinging a fort doesn't matter as much unless you had people patrolling, but otherwise you have no way of knowing where their armies are because they're all glamored. But we see some Sid warriors here, so that gives us some indication of maybe what's coming. Yeah, and then more back here. We can take a look at his bless too. I think it's a pretty typical elf bliss. He's got attack, shock resistance, poison resistance, defense, reinvigoration, magic resistance, undying, blood surge, mountain survival. Yeah, pretty typical. Does not have fire resistance, so fire elementals will work. Earth elementals should work. These guys are going to move down. We're going to kind of try to move these guys in position to take out this fort. And that's basically it. In terms of what we're recruiting, we're trying to get giants now. I want to switch away from like these high upkeep, shitty human troops, which are just dying in droves. And as much as I can, get the better, higher resource troops, especially now that I have a lot of infrastructure up. I'm probably still going to need archers. It would be really great if I found a crossbow province too. It's probably worth at some point going around and looking for that. I don't think this is, no. So we'll see. I've got to figure out what the hell we're going to do, because right now I really don't know in the late game. I have no idea how I'm going to beat Marverdi. I have no idea how we're going to deal... Well, this will be hard to deal with too. Skelly spam all over my north border. Anyway, that is the Diplo update episode. So thank you guys for watching. Tune back in next time for turn 47. Take care.